Hey guys, Gary here from rvliving.life, and on YouTube we're RV Living Life. Today we're going to be talking about power protection for your RV. Now most people already use these things. This is normally known as a surge protector, and what you do is you plug the surge protector into the power pole and then you plug your RV into the surge protector. And that'll protect you from over voltage spikes, or the voltage just being too high, or reverse polarity, or the ground's not connected properly. Any problems at all in the power pole, the surge protector will protect you and kick out. Another thing people add is like a Hughes Autoformer. And I have this and I love it. So if the power park voltage is too low, the Autoformer will bring it up. And if the voltage is too low, what can happen is your air conditioner motors or your fridge motors, they'll work harder and they'll actually wear out faster. So bringing the voltage up to a usable voltage is very important. So between the two of them, you have a surge protector, which protects against high voltage, and an autoformer, which protects against low voltage. And between the two of them, you're very well protected. The problem with these things is when you put them outside and connect them to the pole, they're expensive and they're very vulnerable to theft. You know, people put little locks on them and what have you, but you know, anything can be defeated with a simple set of bolt cutters. So it's really not a great idea to leave these outside plugged into your pole, especially if you go on a shopping run into town or something like that. There's nobody there to protect you from being stolen. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to mount them inside our motorhome. What we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the reel inside, where the reel attaches to the transfer switch inside the RV. And we're going to put a couple of plugs there, and we're going to be able to plug them in right inside, right in the basement of the RV. So nobody will ever even see them, so they don't know you have them or anything like that. And we'll be protected from high voltage, low voltage, spikes, reverse polarity, everything. All protected right inside the RV. And all we do is we pull out our line and we just plug it into the power pole and we're good to go. And another great thing about this thing is it can monitor, the one I use is a Hughes surge protector, and it can monitor the voltage you have and how many watts you're using, how many amps and what have you. So you can, really see what's going on. And you can actually even measure the voltage of every device you use. So like if you plug in your your laptop, you can see the voltage or the amps and the wattage raised on how much power you're using right on the app that comes on your phone. And you can plug in a heater or anything like that, the microwave. You can see how much each individual thing uses in voltage and in amps. So if you're boondocking or something like that and you want to conserve how much power you're using, or if you're, you have a 50 amp RV and you're plugged into a 30 amp system, you can really monitor how much power you're using, and it makes it really handy. So today I'm going to show you how I installed these in our motorhome. And it was really not that difficult. It was a little time consuming because a lot of things had to be disassembled, and I always take my time with stuff. But it's really a great thing, and I'm so happy I did it. So let's have a look at how I did it. And actually, before we go, if you could do us a favor, just hit that like button and maybe subscribe and ring the bell. That would really help us out. So let's look at the video now. Thanks. So here's my power reel, which I absolutely love. And what I want to do is I have a autoformer and a surge protector that I want to put in here. So there's a large cable running up from my hose reel up the back and into this transfer switch right here. It goes in the top. So this is the massive cable that goes from the back of the power reel up to the transfer switch. And it does seem to have quite a bit of slack in it. So I believe I can open this up and put a plug on each end here. Like, just cut that off, put a male on this end and a female on that end. You can join them together to be normal, or take it apart and you could plug in your surge protector or autoformer or anything you want to put in between, and then it wouldn't have to be outside of the coach beside the pole. It could be in the coach, locked in the bays securely. Like, that stuff's expensive, you don't want to lose it. So I guess I'm going to get a knife and just trim this up a bit and see what we have inside here. And of course, before I do that, I'm going to ensure all my power is off. I'm not plugged into anything. I'm in the storage yard actually, and my batteries are disconnected. I just did that, so everything should be safe. Let's have a look. Here's my male 50 amp plug, Camco, which will go on here. And this one here will go on the hose reel. It's a female, so you can plug directly into the hose reel. Cabling in there, and you can see it in there. Some large cabling, very nice. I'm going to have to take the hose reel off, so I have the appropriate socket. And I've got the cord reel loose. I can move it all around. Definitely can twist it enough so that I can take this panel off now. Pull it through, and there we go. Time to cut into the cable. I'm going to pick a spot where it'll be relatively easy to reach to plug and unplug them. I'm barely crawled into the bay here, and I can reach it right here. I think if I moved it any further up, it would be difficult. So I think right about here is where I'm going to go into it. So let's just cut it back and have a look at what we're looking at. I'm being very careful to only cut the insulation and not the cable itself, or any of the pieces inside, I should say, the wires inside. Okay, there's a first look inside. It's got a lot of paper sleeves here, which allows it for movement, and it's powdered up, I guess. Okay, but I can see the wires in there, so we're good. I'm just going to continue to work around here. Turn the rest of this off. And the goal here is just to peel enough insulation off so I can cut the wires and see what I'm looking at. Okay, so there we go. There's a lot of rope cabling in here. So the next thing I need to do is to get my cutters out and cut through each one of these wires individually. Nice and neat, because I want to use as much of this as I can. I don't want to have to trim any off the end. Of course, some of them may have to be trimmed shorter to fit in the plug properly to their locations. Now, when I'm hooking up these plugs, I don't know how much detail I'm going to go into showing how I did it here. You can definitely go on the internet and look up, I have Camco plugs, so you can look up 50 amp Camco RV plug installation, and it'll show you which wires go where inside the plug. I don't know if I have to do all that, but I'm definitely going to get my cutters and cut those now. Okay, so I guess the first one I'll cut, since I can see it the best, is the red one. The green one. I guess the white one's next. Last one is the black one. Alright, she's cut. I'm going to cut these little cords so I don't pull them out of the cable. Okay, I'm going to take this out into the daylight. I'm not going to go into a great deal of instructions on how to wire this plug up. There are instructions in the package it came with, as well as an installation video on Camco's website. So I'll just let you follow those instructions. I don't want to be responsible for your mistakes or anything I might do incorrectly. But you can see the length of all the wires to be cut, how much needs to be stripped off, and how to hook it into the plug. Okay, there's one end done. This is the end that will attach to the cord reel. And I guess this is the easy one to put the plug on because I did it inside at the table. To attach the other one, that comes from the transfer switch. I'll have to do that from in the belly of the coach. So I'm in the belly of the coach again, and I've trimmed all the wires off to the length that it says on the instructions. I found that this went a lot smoother than what I had done previously. Was, I went old school and I just put the plug together and cut all the wires one at a time for the length I needed. This time I measured them the way they were in the instructions. I don't know where the sheet is around here, but this should go a lot easier if we're putting this plug together now that all the wires are the right length at the same time. Okay, success. So I have the male end coming out of the transfer switch. Now I just got to attach the female end back to the hose reel. Okay, I got the plugs together. Now I just got to run this cable back and attach it to the hose reel. Okay, everything's all hooked up again. Everything's nicely separated and tight, and just got to mount the hose reel again. And we'll put the cover on first and mount the hose reel. While I have the reel out, I'm going to put the Autoformer in there and the Power Watchdog, and then I'll put the reel back in, and they'll be pretty much impossible to take out of there. No one's stealing these. Now I have the Power Watchdog plugged into the line going up to the transfer switch, and the other end of the Power Watchdog is plugged into the Autoformer. I can definitely see I'm going to be using Velcro straps on these to hold them together so they don't separate. And then the other cable coming from the Autoformer is going to go up and plug into the back of the hose reel. Okay, job's done. Everything's in order. Have the hose reel cable going into the Autoformer, and then into the Power Watchdog, and then up into the transfer switch for the RV. So everything is well protected once we plug into the stand. Okay, and everything's complete there. Now I can monitor my voltage on my app on my phone. I can monitor how much power I'm using, the watts and the amps, and I can see what the current voltage is on each line in the RV. And it's really a great thing. I really enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and maybe hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell. It really helps us out. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Thank you. Bye now.